Hey, YouTube family, what's up? This your boy Ray Mac. Today I'm going to do some smothered chicken for you guys, but let me break down some of these ingredients for you real quick, all right? So I got some regular salt and pepper right here that I'm going to use for the recipe, but this is what I want to do. Instead of me using the salt and the pepper, I want to try this here JB's barbecue all-purpose seasoning. But if you're going to try this recipe, please use this salt and pepper, the regular salt and pepper, because I know some of you guys might not have this here JB's barbecue all-purpose seasoning, but if you like to try it, you could definitely order you some of this right here, and I can leave the links below. But definitely try the regular salt and pepper. It would definitely work, trust and believe me. And then I have some of this here garlic powder that I want to use. Then I have some of the Spain spices. I'm coming back home to my favorite all-time spices of all time, and y'all know that's Spain spices. So I got some Spain spices, red and onion powder. That's what I'm going to use. Then I have some of this here Spain spices, garlic and herb seasoning. And then I'm going to try to heat it up just a little bit, not too much, y'all, just a little bit, with some Spain spices, spicy seasoning. And you could definitely order this online as well, and I'm going to leave a link to them. That has always been some of my go-to seasonings, and I'm coming back home to Spain spices. Then I have some of this here kicking chicken finger licking spice blend, and I got this here from Ross, and Ross is the boss, and I'm about to go back to Ross because I'm almost on my last leg of this here seasoning, and this here is some good stuff. So if you guys never had tried Ross's spices before, go to the Ross, the JC, what is it, Ross department stores and some TJ Maxx's, and you'll definitely see some of these items on the shelf, the gourmet collection. You better not be slipping on them. Then I got some parsley that I'm going to go ahead and spice these babies up. So let me just show you exactly how I'm going to season up these pieces of chicken and go from there. So let's roll, y'all. All right, so I went and I took a whole chicken, and I pretty much then went and debone the chicken. I clean my chicken up pretty good. So as you can see, this is a chicken breast, and let me show you how I got this real quick. This is a chicken breast. I cut the tip off of the chicken breast, and I end up taking and splitting the chicken in half, and I remove the bone ribs from the chicken. So all of this is just basically fillets, and it might have just one piece of bone that's like sitting right here, as you can see, and that's one easy piece of bone to remove. So I didn't remove that, but I can if I wanted to, but I'm gonna keep on going because of the video's sake. And the only pieces that I left on here basically was like the skin and the wing. All right, so this is one filet breast, and I have my other breast here. Did the exact same thing to that, and as you can see, I patted the meat dry, and then I went and took my leg quarters and basically cut them off and took the rib bone off of that, and I just took the skin completely off of this. All right, I took the skin completely off of the dark meat. So I got my leg quarters, they all washed up and dried, ready to rock and roll. And I got my breast fillet, so I just want to turn these over meat side up so I can season this out. And I do have some plastic wrap on my counter just to keep the counter cleaned up as possible. And with those breast meats came the pieces of tenderloin that was in between, so I just went and I pulled the tenderloin off of each piece, and I'm going to season these babies up. So now, as you can see, we got perfectly clean cut pieces of meat right here. And first thing I'm going to do with my clean hand that didn't touch the meat, like I said, you could use some salt, and you could also use some pepper. You could use that, but what I want to do is I want to take some of this here JB's barbecue seasoning all-purpose rub. Okay, this is JB's all-purpose barbecue rub. This contains some salt and some pepper, and I just want to go ahead and hit these pieces of chicken. Now I'm gonna season these pieces of meat up pretty good, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because I love to have some good seasoned meat. You know what I mean? I don't like it to be under seasoned, and I'm definitely not gonna over season this, because when I do make that gravy, it's gonna be flavorful as well. Okay, so with that being, if you can see, I got my little salt and pepper on there along with some host of other kinds of stuff, but I'm gonna use some of the Spain spices red onion powder, and I'm telling you, I love Spain spices. I'm coming back home to them. These are my all-time favorite seasonings. And this dish that I'm going to do, I'm telling you something right now, I got to have some of this here Spain spices, man. I got to use Spain spices for this here dish. And I love it. I love it so. So now what I'm also going to incorporate, I'm going to add in some of this here garlic powder. Just going to sprinkle some of that on it, and I'm going to season up both sides for you guys, but I just want to show you exactly how I'm seasoning up this meat as we go. And we're going to make this pretty quick, so I don't want to prolong this time because I know we all got something to do. So now we got some of this here Spain spices, garlic and herb seasoning. Now this is one of my all-time favorite seasonings right here. This Spain spices, garlic and herb. And when Spain spices, you know, when they create this is a privately owned company. When they create their seasonings, they look out for people who are trying to eat healthy, whatever the case may be, because there's not a lot of the, mess that's in these, that's low in sodium, no MSGs or anything like that. Definitely, man, you'll be getting what you pay for, which is a good product. So this is some Spain spices spicy. I just want to kick it up just a little notch. And this is not too spicy to where it's going to overpower the dish or anything like that. It's balanced out nicely, y'all. I'm telling you, it is really balanced out nicely. Now, I didn't put any oil on this meat or something or anything like that. Now, if you want to put some olive oil on it and then go ahead and season it, go ahead and do so. That's your preference. So I'm going to go ahead and toss in some of this here kicking chicken finger licking from Ross, because Ross is the boss. I just love Ross products. Ross got some good products, and I got a shelf full of these here Ross seasonings, y'all. Because if I do run out, I just go back to that seasoning, go back to my shelf and get what I need. But for that finger licking chicken, finger licking, I'm out of that. So I got to go back to Ross to go replenish that thing. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm just going to take some of this parsley and hit it on that side. And with this hand, I just want to press it in. That's all I want to do, is basically just press it right on in. Okay? All right, so I'm gonna flip this baby over, flip them tenderloins over. Got two nice good looking tenderloins out of that. Flip that over, them breasts is looking delectably good, y'all. Help me out here. They looking good, y'all. For real. Them babies looking real good. All right, so now I'm just gonna repeat the process, you know what I'm saying? Just gonna repeat the process. Throw some of this here JB's barbecue seasoning on the other side. This, like I said, it will not be over seasoned or anything like that. The flavors are going to be balanced, and I would highly recommend that you guys really give this recipe a try. Thanksgiving is coming right around the corner. Some people don't want to cook turkey, but hey, if you want to cook turkey, go ahead, man, and use these seasonings on your turkey. You cannot go wrong. Trust and believe me. Trust and believe me. You'll be the talk of the house. And if you're going to be the talk of the house, and if they living in the same town you in, guess what? You're going to be the talk of the town. I'm not telling no joke on that one. I'm being as real as I could be. Now I'm going to toss in some of this here garlic powder. Get everything on these pieces of meat. Yes, there we go. Then we're going to toss in some of that was the garlic powder I just put. Now I'm putting on some of this onion powder, just sprinkling it. I want to get this skin on that breast looking tasty, y'all. You hit it with the spicy seasoning. Do it. Show it some love. Give it all kinds of love. That's what it needs. You need some love. That's what it's all about. Going with the kicking chicken finger licking. That's what you see right here, folks. This is what I do, y'all. I just cook from home and just do it the simplest way possible. Now I'm throwing some parsley. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, you can cook this up however you like. There's no right or wrong way to it. And then just take your hand and just press it in. Press them seasonings into that skin. Press it into that skin. Press it. Tenderloins as well. There you go. Press it into that skin. We got this baby coated up pretty good. Alright, YouTube family, I got my stove, my pot. This is my skillet, cast iron skillet. I got this thing heated up. As soon as I put this butter on here, it's going to get scorching. I want to take at least around about a half a stick of butter because I want to brown up this chicken right now. Okay? Now with that, I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit. And I got it on medium-high heat. I got some olive oil that I just put in there. Alright? And all of my heat is basically in this center because the square is at a rectangular shape. It's right here on the eye on the center. All right. So that's a half a stick of butter, and I put in just a little bit of olive oil, and I want to brown this chicken up. So I have my leg quarters, and I want to do this skin side down. Well, skin side down, and you know I removed the skin, but you know what I'm talking about. Smells good. And I want to take the breast and put that skin side down. Make some room. And then I want to take these tenderloins and see if I can find room for it as well. Got to make room. Now just want to let this just brown a little bit, all right? And I did smother the pan. And I'm going to turn my heat back up to medium-high heat. I want that skin on the breast to get some type of coloration. And then we're going to go from there, okay? Alright, so now what I want to do is just go ahead and flip these over because somebody might ask me, how much time did you allow the chicken to brown up on each side? Right now, I'm just going by color. That's all I'm doing. I'm just basically going by color. That's what I want right there, okay? So I'm really not going by time. I just want to look at it and judge it by color. And I just want to brown the other side. That's all I want to do is basically just brown this meat up. Because the cooking process is still going to take a little bit more time once we get the gravy and stuff set up. And then I want to put the chicken back into the gravy. But this is it right here. I don't want to do really nothing else as far as just browning up these chickens. Alright? So bear with me, y'all. We're almost there. Now, since our chicken is brown, the only thing I want to do is just basically move it to the side. Because we're going to go ahead and make our gravy. And these are our tenderloins. Alright, so now I got some of these here veggies right quick, y'all. Alright, so I got here a half an onion chopped. Then I got a section off of the bell pepper chopped. That's all I did was just cut a section off of that bell pepper and chopped it. And then I went and took some celery and just basically took some slices, thin slices off of the celery as well. There's basically no measurement count for these. Like I said, it was just a half a slice of that onion that I chopped up, and just a section of the bell pepper that I cut off and chopped. And then I just took some thin slices off of stalks of celery. And basically we're gonna go ahead and just cook these down real quick. So let's do that now. So as you can see, with our bits and pieces that we have here, we're gonna just take our celery, add that on in there. I'm gonna take my wooden spoon because I don't want you guys to be annoyed by that noise on metal to metal. So I just got my wooden spoon. So I just basically want to sweat these down just a little bit. And then I'm gonna get these out of the pan. And from that seasoning that came off of that chicken is being incorporated into the trinity. That's what the trinity is: onions, bell pepper, and celery. So I just want to sweat these down just a little bit, not a whole lot, because I want it to at least keep its integrity. I want it to be translucent just a small bit. So if I had to give you a time of how long to cook these on top of the stove, I would say give it to at least around about 3 to 5 minutes after you done browned up your chicken. Just give it about 3 to 5 minutes to sweat out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna remove these off of the stove. And I'm finna take these off like right now. This is about as good as I want it. I don't want to cook them like totally, because like we said, we got a process that we're gonna go through, and this is good enough right here. So I wanna take these out right now. All right, so now what I want to do, I want to take me some flour. First, let me do this before I take some flour. I got some old cooking grease. And I just want to put some cooking grease in that. Old cooking grease. And then I want to take it and hit it with some flour because I want to make a roux. That's all I want to do. Make a roux. A nice subtle roux. And if you had to judge it out, all you have to do is just take 1 equal parts of grease, 1 equal parts of flour. If you want to do 1 cup of flour, add 1 cup of grease. That's all you have to do. 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of grease. It all depends on how much gravy you like. With me, I like plenty of gravy, so I add at least around about 1 cup of grease to 1 cup of roux. And then from there, we're gonna let the cooking process go. For a lot of you guys who have ever made roux, you know that there is a process that you have to go through. Now, what I'm gonna end up doing after this pretty much get fixed up, I wanna add some butter to this, all right? So I want this to come to a nice dark color. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm aiming for. That's what I'm aiming for, yes indeed. And I'm gonna speed this up, so I want you guys to go with me now. I'm just gonna speed this up. So when I do come back, the roux is gonna be done. But what I want you to do before I go, never stop stirring this. I need you to easily watch over this roux because you can burn it. Maintain your heat. If it's seem like it's too high, bring down your heat just a little bit and then bring your heat back up. You know what I mean? Don't burn your roux. That's all I'm doing. I want to get me a nice like blonde mahogany color to it. That's what I'm looking for, mahogany color, before I go to the next step. And If you are using a cast iron skillet pan, please do not use plastics, because you can melt the plastics and plastics will get inside your food, and you don't want that, okay? So I'm using a wooden spoon for this here process. And it will take time. Right now I'm thinking this might take me somewhere between 25 to 30 minutes. It all depends. It all depends. If somebody who has done this many times over, they know exactly what steps to take and they know exactly what to do. So this is going to take me some time, and I'm going to be patient with this, okay? So I'll be right back. Now you can see we got a nice blonde looking roux, turning mahogany. What I want to do at this point, this is how I want it right here. What I want to do at this point is take me a half a stick of butter, add it, because I want this gravy to be rich, and this butter is going to definitely get me to that point, okay? So I got the butter in there. That's a half a stick of butter. Trust and believe me, you can't go wrong. Like I said, if your eye is too high, I need you to turn it down and constantly stir. Constantly. Now, what I want you to do, because we got the blonde color, we got that half a stick of butter in it, this is the process. Take your veggies, put it in there. That's right. All right. At this point, I want you to bring your heat down. If your stove got numbers on it, take it to medium low, in between the 2 and the 4. All right, take it to medium low, to low to medium heat. So now I want you to take you some chicken broth. I got chicken broth. Add just a little bit at a time. Add you some chicken broth to it. I'm using some of this here Swanson's chicken broth. And stir. Keep stirring. That's right, keep stirring. It's coming along pretty good. Move everything around. My pot shape is different from yours. Just make sure you have a deep pot that will hold it. And I got 1 carton of this here Swanson. It's a 32-ounce carton of Swanson. And I'm just adding a little bit at a time. My gravy is coming out pretty good. Just a little bit at a time. Keep moving things around. Now I did end up using the whole carton, okay? I used 1 full container of the 32-ounce chicken broth, Swanson's chicken broth. So what I want you to do is just move this around just a little bit. Now, at this point, we're going to do some seasonings. We're going to season this baby up, but before we do, I want you to taste it. And the reason why I want you to taste it before adding any seasonings, because remember, we took our veggies and we cooked it into the seasoning that was on that chicken that was left in the pan. And the reason for this is I don't want you to over salt your food, because if you do, it's not going to turn out right. So you would definitely have to taste it. This takes time. This is a process. And this is the reason why I'm doing a live talk on this. Some of y'all might say, hey, it's taking you too long. But this right here is gonna take that long. You have to go through this process. Let me get a spoon. All I wanna do is just taste this. All right. Okay. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna add some seasonings to this. I want you to take you about a teaspoon of salt. Start out with a teaspoon of salt first. Okay? Then I want you to start out with as much pepper as you like, black pepper, as much as black pepper you like. You can't go wrong with that. Garlic powder, I want you to add at least around about a teaspoon of that. And some onion powder, teaspoon of onion powder. One more ingredient that I like adding in, and that's some of that Nora's chicken flavoring. And I got this right here, some Nora's chicken flavoring. I want you to add at least around about a teaspoon of that. Now, from that, we're not going to do anything else unless you want to add in some more parsley just to give it a little color. And then just mix. Now I want you to give it a taste. Perfect. Perfect. Now what I want you to do is just take your gravy, pour that gravy right on over that chicken. All of it. Pour it right on over there. All right. Just get it all moved around. Make sure every piece is covered, including your breast, leg quarters. This is just one whole bird, y'all. That's all, just one whole bird. Okay? Get it all covered. Now I want you to take your lid, cover that baby up with a lid. Set your oven on bake to 375 degrees, okay? Once that preheat, throw it in the oven. Thank you so much for watching this here video. Please hit that subscribe button and become a Raymax family member. Also, watch my suggestion video and watch next videos. Give this video a thumbs up. You know what I got to say. Love and not hate. Love somebody and hate nobody. Love you all. Peace.